What's up, bro? What's going on, bro? That's how I feel like with a backwards hat. Yo, what's up? Welcome. I did one of those Instagram things where you submit questions and I was gonna answer them and I just like let it expire. But I probably will go back and do it on Instagram, but I was like, some of these questions were good, so let me just make a little video so I can talk about these in more depth. And you know, people on Instagram are so, they want 20 seconds and they're done, but you guys are here for the long run. So I'm just gonna go through, I'll answer some of these. There's some good questions that people wrote. I haven't quite prepared my answers and I don't know how many questions I'm gonna answer right here, but we'll chat and we'll see. So I'm assuming most of these, I think what I've looked through are pretty fitness related, which was kind of the question that I posed or the prompt that I gave, but I like this one. What's the hardest thing you've ever had to unlearn about fitness? I love that question because the first thing that comes to mind is unlearning that fitness isn't about just physique. I think what kickstarted my fitness journey personally, not fitness coaching or trainer, but just getting into the gym, was like a dissatisfaction about how I look. I was 6'2" and 50 pounds. I was like nothing but skin and bones. And I think I just got fed up with that and went into the gym in order to gain muscle and look better. And I think what I had to unlearn was, yes, a great result of working out is that you look great, you look good, but fitness is so much more than just that. And I think I found personally that when my motivator, like I'm literally having flashbacks of times when I was going to the gym, specifically in college when I kind of started my fitness journey, and I would tell myself, Nick, you gotta go to the gym. You're a skinny little twink and you gotta get to the gym. And it was a terrible motivator for me because sometimes I felt inspired to like, this is the year I'm gonna gain some muscle and I'm gonna look good. And sometimes I didn't give a flying about what I looked like. I was like, you know what, whatever. I don't like going to the gym and I don't care about how I look. So like, this is just a bad motivator for me. It wasn't until honestly, I got into group fitness and functional fitness and CrossFit and started running and started lifting heavy weights for big compound lifts and started getting competitive with, oh my gosh, can I lift more than this person? How much can I lift? Am I faster? Am I slower? When I started to get into those performance kind of goals, that's when I got hooked. And fitness became my whole personality because I was so in love with constantly chasing some sort of performance goal. So it was no longer about, ugh, I hate the way my arms are so skinny or my legs are so skinny, I don't have any muscle on my body. It wasn't about that anymore. It was, oh my God, I want to show up to class and show everyone how badass and how strong I am. And it was about the community and performance. It's that word performance, where it was no longer about how I looked, it was about how much could I lift. And yes, when you start lifting more, I started gaining muscle. And yeah, people in my life were like, oh my gosh, you look so strong, you look great. And yeah, that was a great byproduct. It was a great result of the hard work I was doing, but it wasn't my main motivator. So I really had to unlearn or detach going to the gym with trying to chase an amazing physique. Because I think a lot of people, there's this like narrow tunnel of what they think the reason they should work out is, and it is that physique. But it's about so much more than that, because at the end of the day, girl, it's not about how you look, it's about how you feel, what your body can do, and being healthy. Work out for a bigger reason. Looking good can be one reason under a bigger umbrella of I want to be a functional, healthy, long-living human being. And I think performance goals have a big place within that umbrella. And yeah, it's just inspiring now because I don't even have to worry about the motivation to work out. Obviously, particular days, yes, sometimes I feel incredibly unmotivated and don't go to the gym or don't get my workout in. But in terms of a bigger sense, I know I'm never gonna take a week or a month or a year off from working out because I am so in love with chasing a performance goal. And that's what keeps me going to the gym. Yeah, wow. I just looked at the clock and I'm like, dang, I've been chatting about this question for a second. Clearly I feel passionately about that. Okay, let me maybe hit you with just a couple more, maybe some more brief answers. I really just got on that soapbox for a second. It's just because it's not even about myself. Yes, I had that journey that I was just talking about, but also with the clients that I've worked with, I find that when I change my vocabulary and stop talking about, oh, I think you should do this in order to look this way. Like when I just start talking about, notice how from week 1 to week 10, you're lifting twice as much weight on this dumbbell movement. That's what gets clients excited. And I really think that that's what people should focus on more, because it is so incredibly inspiring to watch your growth when it comes to like what you can do, what your body can do, because our bodies are amazing. How has dance and theater made you a better athlete? Interesting. I like that question. I think having a background that is not in sport and getting into fitness, you always have a little bit of imposter syndrome, because I tell myself that like, oh, you know, all those D1 athletes, all those football bros from high school, like, oh, they're the experts in fitness. And I forget that being a professional dancer, you are also incredibly qualified to know what it takes to take care of your body and to be healthy and to be functional and to be strong and flexible and well-conditioned. So yeah, I think having a background in dance and theater and then getting into endurance sports and fitness coaching, it just makes me have a very different perspective from most people, but I think it's a strength. I also think that when you're a performer from the world of theater, you understand how to talk to people, how to understand people's emotions, how to work with them, a lot of sort of like human connection, which is a big part of working in fitness and training, which, you know, it's more than just working out. It's dealing with people and people's emotions. And especially when you get into a fitness journey, it can be incredibly emotional for people. They feel shame, they feel guilt about not doing enough. They sometimes get into toxic habits and relationships with fitness. So it's a lot about dealing with people at the end of the day. I think they mean if you had to start your fitness journey over tomorrow, what would you do differently? Ooh, I think I would push myself at a younger age to get into the gym sooner. And by get into the gym, I mean like the weight room. I was so intrigued but terrified of the weight room for a while, and I wish I had gotten in there sooner. I don't regret taking my time, but a part of me does wish that I had felt a little more comfortable to get into the weight room earlier, because I was doing lots of conditioning, lots of dancing, lots of stretching, but not much strength training. And I do feel like because I got to strength training later in life, that it's a big part of why it's so incredibly important to me now, because I felt the effects of not strength training, and now I feel like what it is to be in my body and be an athlete who strength trains quite a lot. So who knows, maybe I wouldn't have been as passionate about strength training as I am now if I wasn't a late in life to the weight room kind of guy. But as a fitness trainer and coach, I don't know if I would do anything differently in terms of my journey. I think for a lot of people, and this is true of trainers, but also if you're just someone who wants to work out and has no interest in making a career in fitness, I really got my start through group fitness, both as an athlete and as a trainer. And I do think that it is a beautiful place to cultivate your love of fitness. You know, group fitness has its limitations, and also group fitness is such a vague term. What do you mean, Nick? Do you mean bar? Do you mean Pilates? Do you mean CrossFit? Do you mean Orange Theory, F45? Like, group fitness is such a big umbrella term, but I think it can be a great way as a participant of a group fitness class to just get comfortable in a gym, to find a community, to get guidance. Maybe it's not one-on-one guidance, but sort of get guidance from an instructor, and also have that instructor lay out a plan for you, so you don't have to go into the gym feeling intimidated by the idea of creating your own workout plan. And I think also as a trainer and a coach, it's a great way to deal with a lot of people in a very short period of time. So you learn people's tendencies when it comes to movement. You learn how people take cues or corrections, or how they like different kinds of people, like being talked to in a different way. It just exposes you to a lot. Even if you move away from group fitness and end up training one-on-one, again, as a client or as a trainer, I think group fitness can be a great way to expose you to a lot at the beginning of your journey. There are more questions, but maybe I'll do a part 2 of this, just because I'm looking at the timer here on my camera. I've been chatting for a minute, so maybe I'll catch you in a part 2. If you liked this format, just getting to sit on my big old soapbox and just talk. All right, thanks.